This week's episode of Podasaurus is brought to you by heavy spoilers for Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind DLC and dropped calls on Discord.
Welcome to the Podasaurus. This is just a little intro chorus. Welcome to the Podasaurus. We'll be talking about some games and moments. Welcome to the Podasaurus. Kyoryu and his friends won't bore us. Hopefully. Welcome to the Podasaurus. So listen up, it's time for Podasaurus.
Hello everybody, this is TimberTaft and welcome to the Podasaurus. I'm here alongside the Podasaurus host, the man with the dinosaur, KyoryuHunter.
Hi, you were stalling so you could remember my name.
You sound like you're on edge, Timber. Jesus.
And next to that man, there's also Ken.
Hi. Technically, you're more next to me than Kyo is.
I mean, technically, you're in the center. You're wedged in the Kyo and Timber sandwich.
Ew.
But yeah, welcome to Podasaurus, guys. It has been a while since I was here. How have you guys been?
Been alright.
Alive.
Yeah,
Good time.
Basically that. How about you?
Yeah, it's been a good time. Lots of good stuff happened to me. That's why I wasn't here, because I was just out having a great time.
Like what? What good things?
Well, I played, beat, and 100% achieved Sayonara Wild Hearts. So that was a good time. Yeah. And I also played some other stuff, but that's later in the show, right? That's when we talk about the video games. So I guess, what did I do? It's like a big void during that week.
But so many good things.
Oh, so many good things. They were amazing. Yeah, I was with my girlfriend. So she had come and visited for that week, during which time we mostly just explored the town. I realized I lived here for so long that I had never really gone to see anything. I think this happens with a lot of people when they move to new cities. Is that they'll just exist in that space and not really bother seeing this stuff because it's just like, I'll get to it whenever. I have years maybe to see this stuff, so then you just never go to it. But I got to see some neat libraries and bookstores. There was this really cool Japanese dessert place that it's specialized in Japanese style desserts. I don't know how authentic it was. Maybe Kyo could speak to this. Have you ever had like a durian and black bean ice cream thing? Like, is that a thing?
Black bean? I
don't know if it's like black beans. They looked like black beans. It was just like,
were they red beans?
Sweet little black beans. They were not red beans because they actually had red beans on the menu. This was a black bean that was sweet.
Ken, are the Japanese black beans? Are they more of a sweet, or are they more of like a neutral flavor? Because they're not like a
they're more of a neutral. The Azuki is more of the sweet, which is the red bean.
Yeah, they could have been dark red beans, and they could have just, or like they could have been sweet black beans, for all I know. Japanese black beans are different.
Okay. Well, it was very good. Initially, I went there expecting to just get bubble tea, and I was like, wait, they have like something I've never tasted before. Well, I have to eat that.
And how was it?
It was good. It was pretty sweet. I've had durian before, so that's kind of why I went there, because I was like, well, it has this weird bean thing. And then it also has durian, and I know that I can handle durian, even though when my folks came the week after to like try this place out too, and when my mom took a bite from the durian, she was just like, "This is rotten onion," and I'm like, "Oh, there's no onion in it, I assure you." And she's like, "No, there's onion. It's full of onions. I hate onion." I was like, "Okay, this is a mistake." But
so did the rest of Ozone come to visit you too?
Oh yeah, after word spread of my exploits in Japanese desserts in my local town, Ozone just had to try. What
so
about
you like durian,
you?
huh?
I do like durian. I do actually like durian. I don't. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's definitely like I can eat it, and I recognize it as kind of a desserty treat kind of thing.
It smells like death.
Oh yes,
Yes, it smells like that.
Oh yes.
You know, I ate this durian candy one time, and I was like, oh, this isn't too bad, but, you know, it has a weird aftertaste. I decided to drink soda after that, and I burped, and then I smelt the durian, and I was like, oh my god, my nose! I was dying!
You're killing yourself with your own odors. That's terrible.
Yeah.
I had some like dried durian once. My Japanese buddy, his grandma gave me a packet of it, and I had it, and I'm like, it was okay. But she's like, oh, how is it? I'm like, oh, you know, it's good, thank you. And then she just like took the rest of the packages and gave them to me because she didn't like them. So I got trapped by being nice. Like, oh, that's good, thank you. And she just gave me all the rest of them. Like, I don't want this.
Ah, yes, Obasans. Doing it right.
You never know what you're going to get out of that. You never know. So you just tell them thank you, and then you're just like either going to get nothing or everything. Depends on how they feel on it.
What was
Did
that?
you fall asleep?
What? No, that just... Oh, is that you? Okay. I was like... I just heard like a pin drop, and I was like... Oh.
No, I have this thing on my channel with my channel points that you can ask me to show you my weeb shit. And someone earlier asked me to show them my Gundams, and I got on a tangent about how I like Power Rangers robots and stuff. So I had to pull down my Chocho Tokyudayo, my like gigantic train on a train on a train on a train type of like robot, and I had a dinosaur train, and it's just still down here, and you can open and close its mouth, and it snaps. So like I need it to be away from me because I'm going to keep doing this.
I can't handle it. I can't. He can't.
No,
handle it.
the problem is I am handling it, and that's the issue.
It's a little too well handled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't have anything on my desk for that because I brought my lock seats to work one time, and all I was doing was opening it and closing it, and I kept doing it while I was on the phone. And someone was just like, "What's that clicking sound, Ken?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, sorry."
Then your heart starts just like you could hear that.
Yeah, luckily I didn't turn the thing on. Otherwise, it would just yell "banana."
Banana.
I could just imagine being on the other end of that line. Like, excuse me?
And how about some orangey?
That's the only one I have is the like a cheap orange one, like a capsule toy. Not capsule toy, it's a candy toy.
I mean, I had everything except the writers. The writers ones, but
no one wants those.
yeah, not anymore. I even have durian.
Durian.
Yeah.
Oh god, I showed some people, I think that like a couple episodes of Gaim, and they were just in love with Bravo. They're like, he's so fucking campy. I'm like, I know. He's just
that's
really
why everyone
campy.
loved him. He used to be a professional wrestler.
Yeah, he's like I remember reading, he just like the character had a really weird backstory, and then like he was just like someone I didn't expect to be on a kid's show, and he's just like owning that camp and making it campier.
Yeah. Mercy.
I have so much stuff on my desk just from stream. Like I'm always like pulling shit out to talk to people or like to show people, or like I have 2 game cases or 2 Xbox original game cases and then a PS1 case on here because I kept talking about them today. And like I just have shit everywhere. You have no idea. Like what you can see on my cam is like a fraction of what's actually over here.
So how have you been, Kill?
It's like, Timber, did you fall asleep?
No, I'm right here. I'm trying to. I was just thinking about how that was like the weirdest delivery. I'm not here. I'm like dying, guys. I'm sorry. I'm like a dead person right now. But
well, we can
keep
it short today if you need to.
I do have a Deku link though. That's a thing that I have on my desk.
Is it Link as a Deku or is it?
No. It is Link as a Deku. He's got a little flower in him, on him, in his hand.
Is this one of those like Nintendo of America or World of Nintendo toys?
It is. It was given to me as a gift, and I haven't taken it out of the box because I don't really know what I would do with it if I did. It's one of those, like, it's not an amiibo. Like, with an amiibo, it's like, okay, take the box out because I want to be able to scan that.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it was even like an action figure where like the parts would move, it'd be like, well, I could like fiddle with that, right? But like this little Deku Link, he's just like a little figurine, right? Like, there's nothing moves, nothing happens with it, so it's like, I don't know. It just exists. I need to take it out of the box. It's going to get annoying soon, but...
Well, I've been doing fine, thank you. I've been playing more shitty games on stream.
Where are we in the pile now?
Dino Crisis 3 right now. Someone kept asking me, like, they're like, oh, I was playing Alone in the Dark, the new Nightmare. And then someone's like, can you, like, what else you can play next? I'm like, I don't know, what do you want? And they're like, what about Dino Crisis 3? I'm like, are you fucking sure? Whatever. Which, that's what's on my desk. I have a Japanese copy and a US copy of it. And I have them up because the box art is very different and makes them both look like different games. The Japanese one makes the game look better. The US version's a lot more along the lines of how bad the game is. And then I bought another game yesterday. This little game called Apocalypse for PS1. Are either of you guys familiar with this game?
Apocalypse?
Yes.
It's
called Apocalypse.
I don't think I am.
So Apocalypse for PS1 is a video game starring Bruce Willis.
Oh, the one based on the movie that Neversoft did?
I don't think there's a movie, is there? Is there a movie for this?
I'm trying to think. Hold on. It's the one that Neversoft did, though, right?
This was made by Activision. I can't tell what that's on there. Hold on, let me look.
Yep, developed by Neversoft.
Yeah, but there's no movie, though, right? It's just the game.
Well, this is what Wikipedia's for.
Well, I'm looking up. I'm double checking because I might have lied to a bunch of people today, so let me double check. Made by Neversoft and Activision, stars Bruce Willis. It was the first original game after Tony Hawk.
Ah, okay. I just think of Bruce Willis, and then I think of the best Christmas movie ever, Die Hard.
It's basically like that. I'll read the back of the box if you would like.
Oh, yeah.
Apocalypse, starring Bruce Willis. The end of the world is near. You're Bruce, starring as Trey Kincaid, nanophysicist and sole defender of the world. It's up to you to defeat the 4 horsemen before it's happy trails to all of us. Let's see. It's raw action. Take control of Bruce Willis, one of the greatest action heroes of all time. Motion captured and cyber scanned for the most intense hardcore action ever. Killer cinematics unveil a doomsday plot. Destroy it all. Explore multi-level war factories, prisons, sewers, and more. Level everything to the ground in 360-degree battle anywhere environments that echo with explosive sounds. And finally, lock and load. Brave the dismal future against up to 20 on-screen enemies. Good thing you can don multiple weapons at once, like rip lasers, flamethrowers, semi-automatics, and homing missiles. He was cyber-scanned into this game. Cyber-scanned.
I think my favorite thing about this is in the synopsis it says you play as Trey Kincaid, and later double bets back and it's like basically enjoy your time as Bruce Willis, and I'm like,
yeah.
So Bruce Willis as Trey Kincaid, who is scanned into a video game where he couldn't possibly, like, this was before they mocapped people into games, so he literally just existed to be a model in this game.
Because it says, like, in the thing, like, you're Bruce Willis starring as Trey Kincaid. Then you go over to Raw Action. Take control of Bruce Willis. Like, are you Bruce Willis or are you Trey Kincaid?
That's the real question. I think Bruce Willis asks himself that question every day.
And up to 20 on-screen enemies. 20.
All 20
whole
of them.
20. And I believe this game uses tank controls. Yep, this is tank controls. I cannot wait to play it. So this is a Resident Evil clone, then. Potentially.
Potentially.
Well, I don't know. If it doesn't have, if it has full 3D backgrounds and stuff like that, I have to make sure if it's actual 3D, or RE clone, because I fucking love RE clones. Because they try their best to not be RE, but then they end up just being RE.
That does look pretty 3D. I don't think it's going to be quite the RE feel, but...
Well, because, like, Dino Crisis is still technically an RE clone. But it's full 3D.
I tried just doing an image search on Google, but all it is just multiple low-res images of Bruce Willis's face. That's all that I'm getting.
It's really bad too.
It's terrible. Oh goodness.
I'm so happy. It was like $10 and I bought it. And I could bring it up and the guy's like, is this a movie? I'm like, no. Or was it a movie? You might have asked. I'm like, no, it's Bruce Willis in the video game. It looks pretty bad. It looks pretty bad.
Is that a flame? Is that supposed to be a flamethrower?
Is it the one where it's like, it looks like, I don't know, a fruit by the foot?
Yeah, it's like a banana strawberry fruit by the foot.
Yeah, that one.
Good Lord. This is going to have to be like, I don't know, how do you do this? How do you beam screenshots in a podcast to your audience?
I'd have to put it in, but that's a lot of effort.
That is a lot of effort. You're right. We don't do effort here. All right, so you're doing Apocalypse. I had my time with Sayonara Wild Hearts and not much else. What about you, Ken?
Let's see here. I've been playing a lot of Fire Emblem again. I just got to the time skip for the 3 houses. And besides that, I've been also playing a lot of Madden, ironically. Because Madden...
Which one? Hold on. Which Madden? Because my understanding is that it, like, actually stopped being good after a certain year, right?
Oh, Madden 20.
Oh,
they have the story. Okay. Yeah, they have the story. That's why I play for the story.
I'm here. I swear.
I swear. Dude bros. Yeah, they got rid of the one shot like generic character from the last 2 years. That I was just like, I'm so invested about this character from Madden 18 and Madden 19, and now you're just your own character going through the college years, and I'm like, I don't even care about the college stuff because our football team is like nothing.
I'm gonna be honest, as a unsports initiated, I'm not a sports boy. I didn't realize that Madden had a story mode. Like, there's actually like a story.
Yeah,
they
started doing it like recently because the FAFA one did so well a couple years back. Remember, we went through this the last time I mentioned FAFA, FIFA.
FAFA. Oh no.
Yeah, so the FAFA games also had a story character where you're just this one guy who's going between all odds and all that stuff, and that became very well, so they decided to take it to the Madden stuff because they need a shot in the arm because they don't have a basketball game no more because 2K's been dominating that market as of late. So, but then again, 2K is not doing really so hot as of late. Both the basketball and the wrestling game is it's completely garbage.
The wrestling game was another level of flaming disaster. From my
What you're talking about? You never knew that hair is supposed to be 30 feet off of your body.
Oh man, I mean, they probably honestly maybe this was a tactical failure, right? They said, we're going to do it so badly that it will go down in history as terrible, and everybody's going to want to play the terrible wrestling game, right?
No, basically they had all these a new developer take over the game within 5 months, and that's why there's so many bugs. You can find out more by watching Matt Mitchum's What Happened? The 2K20 WWE edition. It's a very, very insightful thing, so I would highly recommend it. But
I think
besides
I've seen
that,
his series before. He does a lot of
he does a lot of dumpster fire games that I just was like, my mom, I just eat it all up. But besides that, I've been playing a lot of Review Starlight. My favorite voice actress's character is being featured very heavily this week, so I was back on that high horse again. So, yeah, besides that, nothing much.
Yeah, between my my girlfriend visiting and basically beating a whole video game last week, I didn't really play much else because I basically binged that. So it was just I did Sayonara Wild Hearts, which I don't know how to talk about that game because it's just a short, it's basically a rhythm game. It's very near Automata style in terms of its gameplay variation. So like you'll go a minute into a level, which in itself is a song, and as that progresses, you'll initially like be coasting on your skateboard from left to right to center, trying to collect these collectible pieces on the route, and it'll suddenly just be like, and now your camera is a side scroller, and you're gonna try to like shoot the things that are flying at you, and it'll just suddenly pan into your character, and now it's a first person shooter, and you're zipping around this like it's F-Zero. I think the game pretty much encapsulated trying to hit every gaming trope that existed in classic games and just threw it into segments of levels as it went along. I felt like it was a very well crafted, tasty little package of a game. And then after that, I played a bit of Wasteland 2 and remembered why I don't play long apocalypse post-Armageddon RPGs anymore. Because it just felt... And I heard from people that literally I have to play like 20 hours of that game before it gets good. So maybe I just haven't put the time investment in it, but it just made me feel like, if that's the case, why don't I just play the first like Fallout or Fallout 2, which were far more condensed packages of this basically the same game, that would grab me in the first hour instead of 20 hours in. But so yeah, two extremes I think, and then of course Temtem, which made me realize my not great taste for Pokemon likes. I think I just find them a little too repetitive for me personally. But other people dig them. I don't know. Maybe this is something to deconstruct. What about... Because I know that both of you at least enjoy certain aspects of Pokemon games, albeit maybe not necessarily Sword and Shield. But what is it about Pokemon games that you enjoy the most? Like, what do you get the most out of a Pokemon game?
I like being able to pick the Pokemon that I like and go through a decent amount of content. Like, I mean, I want to be able to complete the main story and then have more shit to do that is not just a shitty battle tower or like a battle maison like an X and Y. I want more than just like, oh, here's a challenge tower. I'm like, but is there more? Like, more things. Like, previous games had things like a battle frontier or, you know, like more island challenges, stuff like that. And like with Sword and Shield, they took out almost everything I liked of it, which was the Pokemon I like, and then literally having anything to do that isn't running around an area and doing the same raid with the NPCs who just do nothing over and over again. They took out my bros. They took my bro Pokemon.
Oh, man. What about you, Ken?
Pretty much the aspect of choosing your partner and bringing them on the adventure. Like, I don't really change my party all too much. Once I decide that I'm gonna stick with this party, I don't really change it because I feel like some sort of camaraderie for the little digital pixel things.
I feel like
there's that.
I mean, I feel like it's to your detriment too. Like, you pick up a new guy 3 levels in, and you go, well, it's going to take forever to get you caught up to everybody else, at least in the older games. So, I'm just gonna...
Doesn't take that long now because Sword and Shield is literally baby mode for a video game where I was over leveled the entire game. I steamrolled every single gym leader. It was like the last 2 where I didn't one-shot their final Pokemon. But none of mine ever died.
Yeah, so...
Like, I don't need it to be like I know it's a game for children, but like X and Y had a challenge mode. Like, I literally don't understand why they can't just like have that in there as an option. It's so easy that they could do it. But they
also, the designs for the older Pokemon, I much like the designs for the older Pokemons compared to the new ones. Probably the only newer design Pokemon that I did really like is Donkey Konga.
What, Rillaboom?
Yeah.
I didn't really like the starters, like any of them. Like by the end of the game, I really didn't like any of the 3 starters or any of their lines. I liked the Yamper line.
Yeah.
I like some of the other ones, but like overall, I found the newer ones to be a little bit more forgettable than I'd like.
Then again, with the DLC, you know, Big Chungus Venusaur, Big Chunky is gonna be coming his way, so can't wait to see.
And they're
that.
adding actual new Pokemon for like this generation as well that are locked behind DLC, and I'm just like, come on. Like everyone's like was up in arms, like, oh, it was okay when they re-released like a 3rd version before. It's like, yeah, 3rd version was the full game. And it costs, like, for the GBA games, they're like $30-$35 for a full game with new stuff in it. This one's $30, and, like, it's probably not going to be that heavy of content. And, like, the game was already lacking a bunch of content, so now I'm paying $90 for still an unfinished game.
Yeah, probably like 3 to 4 hours, if that.
And on top of that, have you seen the pricing for Pokemon Home?
No, I avoided that lovely wildfire.
The Pokemon Company can go fuck itself. It's terrible. Do either of you know what Pokemon Home is? I know this is a tangent off a question that was completely different, but...
So, without knowing the context of specifically what it is, I do know about PS Home, and I'm guessing this is like a downloadable Pokemon skin for the PlayStation Home, like, virtual reality environment, basically.
Yes, exactly. Mostly because PS Home has been dead for, like, almost 10 years now.
It's such a random thing to bring up.
You know, I did that. I love that. I love PS Home. PS Home was amazing.
I remember going there to watch the E3 conference, and the video was so horribly buffery, and like no one could watch it.
It was at like 240 or 180p, if that.
It was just like 10 people standing in front of a screen hoping something would happen.
Yeah.
By the way, it's not that. It's like basically the evolved version.
I'm sitting here like, did I get it right? Oh my god. No, okay.
But it's basically the updated version of Pokemon Bank. So you can take stuff from Pokemon Bank, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Let's Go, and Pokemon Sword and Shield and transfer it into this and like basically have storage and stuff like that. This is where the global trading system that was removed from Sword and Shield, like that was in every previous game, is now in. You can put things, you can do that, you can do room trade, you can judge the Pokemon like, like their stats, stuff like that. You can store Pokemon. You can do transfers like without having the game. Say you just want to transfer it into the thing, but you don't want it in your game. You can transfer, and then anything that's available in Sword and Shield can be sent into it. Now the problem with this is the pricing for it. So Basic is like the free version. Basic, you cannot transfer anything from Pokemon Bank. You can hold 30 Pokemon. They have a Wonder Box, like how you do Wonder Trades or like Mystery Trades. You can throw 3 Pokemon in there for free that will trade off on their own. You can put 1 Pokemon in the GTS at a time. You can join a room to trade with people, but you can't make one. And then you cannot judge your Pokemon. If you pay for the premium, you can transfer from Pokemon Bank, which requires you to also having paid the $5 a year for Pokemon Bank, which also does nothing, that you're just paying $5 for them to hold 50 megabytes of storage. You can hold up to 6,000 Pokemon, have 10 Pokemon in the Wonder Box, 3 Pokemon in GTS, create and join the trading rooms, and you can use the judge function. Now, the big issue with all this is the cost. Pokemon Bank, or Pokemon Home Premium, is $3 a month. $6 for every 3 months instead, or $16 for a year. So, you have to pay for 1 year $16 for all these things, which include features that were stripped out of Sun and Moon and are removed from Sword and Shield for this. And then you have to pay for Pokemon Bank if you want to transfer things from the old ones, which is another $5. So it's $21 a year, just to get the best out of this. And not every Pokemon can be sent to Sword and Shield, so you might have some that just sit in that bank. So if you don't want to lose them, you have to keep your subscription active, because they can delete them anytime they want. I don't know how long they wait. Maybe it's like a month, maybe it's 3 months or so. But you have to pay for all this on top of your Nintendo Online subscription fee. Just for Pokemon. And then you have the download content for this. So to get all the features that were available in like fucking Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield is now going to cost $60 base game, $30 for the DLC, and then $20 for like all the bank stuff. So you're paying $110 to get the full Pokemon experience this generation.
Yeah, it sounds not good. It sounds
it's not.
It sounds like the continuing trend of companies just taking advantage of the games as a service rabbit hole and using it as a continual excuse for, hey, it's not content we didn't get around to putting in the game. It's a service model, and the service we're providing is that stuff that we didn't give you earlier now. And you pay for it because it wasn't with the original game. You paid for that first thing. That's what you wanted, right? That's what you paid for. So that's what you got. But you want this other thing, you're going to pay for that. That's basically, they're treating them like expansion packs. But if you were to release any of these individual things that they make as part of their service packs now, or back in the 90s, and if they would have been like, this is an expansion pack, that sale would have flopped so hard. People would have been like, no way, man. That's like not even $5 worth of content.
Like, it probably wouldn't have been that big of an issue if this stuff was new, but the thing is, we've already had most of these features available in the games since, like, with the exception of bank and storing things in a remote server, we've had that function since Diamond and Pearl were the first ones enabled online, and now they're taking those functions out like GTS, and you have to pay for them separately. Like, I know you have the basic account where you can put one in there. Anyone that defends a basic account amount of stuff like that is an apologist for a corporation. Don't defend a corporation. They're not in it for you. You don't need to do that. But like,
the corporation's a person too, Kyo.
No, it's God. Corporations are people unless it came to like an untimely death of a worker. Then suddenly they're not people and they can't be tried for like murder or something. Whatever. That's a whole nother thing that I don't know enough about for me to bitch about. So. But yeah, I have no idea what we were on. I kind of zoned out when you guys were talking about sports. And I'm trying to bring my brain back.
No, it was Timber's fault because Timber was talking about his Pokemon ripoff, and then we went on about what did we like about Pokemon.
Temtem is not just a Pokemon ripoff. It's
a Pokemon ripoff. The problem with Temtem too, though, is they're like, oh, everyone wants a Pokemon MMO, and like I watched you play it, I'm like, MMOs for Pokemon would be fucking boring, and I'm watching one that's boring.
I don't. My problem with it, in terms of like in my mind, hey, I would like a Pokemon MMO doesn't sound terrible because effectively it shouldn't hinder the Pokemon gameplay loop at all. The problem I have is that it's there, so now it's an MMO. So there's all these 10-year-old children running around. I can't talk to them. Mm-hmm. I can probably like trade or duel with them through some menu system, but if I can't communicate with them and I can't coordinate with them to like do stuff, then what's the point of it being an MMO? Like, why does it matter if I can see this person here? It's almost kind of. I was going to make a comparison to the Dark Souls death system, but at least in the Dark Souls, but that actually, that actually helps you with certain things. It was clever in a way. The existence of other characters just wandering around, and that's the other thing with MMOs, is that when a person is playing a character in a game, it is the most jarring thing to have to observe. Like, I don't know why they just can never get the animation right between like, this is a player and they're moving around and this is an NPC, and you always see like the NPCs just going on a nice stroll past the fence being like, howdy neighbor, and then there's this kid this other player who's like running by like they just took 5 cans of Adderall, going like, okay, where's the next gym? And they like spin around in place, they like jump into the nearest grass, and you're just like, what is wrong with the people in this town?
I didn't know Adderall came in cans. I used to work at a pharmacy.
Listen.
You guys got any of that canned Adderall? I heard it's pretty good.
You can store your Adderall in whatever container you see fit after purchase, but
Adderall is stored in the cans.
I'm just saying it doesn't have to be sold in the can. But okay, where were we? We were on hyped up Temtem Children, and it's not good. So, in conclusion, on this topic of, I still have the apocalypse pictures up. So at one point we were talking about the apocalypse,
Mm-hmm.
and now I was going to mention a bit of news. It's relevant because I actually care about this series. I don't know if either of you do. Warcraft 3. What did you guys think of the Warcraft 3 monumental debacle that happened this past week?
The most I can say, because I don't play anything Blizzard makes, is I'm like, oh, this is a typical Blizzard move.
Classic Blizzard. I don't know. It is so weird to me because I was excited about the idea of Warcraft 3 releasing as a remake because I didn't personally own the original copy. I had played it a long time ago. Actually, it was one of 2 games that I played in the second story LAN room above a gas station in Romania. They had StarCraft and they had Warcraft 3, and I watched a bunch of demos of people playing StarCraft because I had no idea how to play that one properly, and I think I played like the first mission of Warcraft 3. But the difference here is I own StarCraft, and I know what I'm doing with that one now. And with Warcraft 3, I never ended up getting a copy. And when they said they were making this remake, I was like, now is my chance. I will be able to finally play Warcraft 3 for real. And then I heard all the negative things, and I was like, you know...
No, you're not going to be able to play Warcraft 3 for real.
Now I can never play Warcraft 3. Before the Reforged announcement, they actually had a Warcraft 3 battle chest that you could buy on GOG, which... just a few months before the announcement of Warcraft 3 Reforged coming out, got pulled off of the GOG storefront. So yeah, now I have no choice. It is Reforged.
You can't even play the original game online without running it through Reforged first.
Yeah, it's disastrous. I don't know why. I don't know where these ideas of theirs came from. It's clear that there's at least a little bit of anger about the whole Dota 2 thing that they can't get over. I think my favorite thing of that dichotomy is I can see Blizzard over here. I can see Blizzard over here being like, you can visualize like a man sweating at the sight of Dota 2 off in the distance. And meanwhile, I don't think like if they were to ever approach Valve, Valve would be like, who are you? I was just swimming in my money. I don't know. Blizzard? What's a Blizzard? But yeah, I don't know. This whole month has been off to such a rocky start when it comes to like anything good getting announced or coming to fruition in a positive way. I felt like it's just kind of been one misstep after another this year. Unless, of course, you've heard some good gaming news recently.
Have I?
I'm
trying to think of anything that's been announced.
I was setting you up, man. I was setting you up for some optimism. Don't leave me hanging.
You're setting me up for optimism.
Yes, you.
Me. You're going to me for optimism
and
uplifting.
To give us an uplifting turn of events.
That's why you're here, to be the optimist. I'm here to be like
me. Optimistic
compared to me.
I think Ken's the real optimist here. Ken, bring us some.
Ken's
good
the
news.
mediator.
Really? The guy that just sounds bored out of his mind and deadpan half the time I'm on the show.
I mean, that's all of us, really, to be honest.
And the only good gaming news that I have is that D4DJ, the new Bushiroad franchise, is going to get a new mobile game.
God.
Hey, man, I will be there day one, just sucking it all up. Just like that.
I'm noticing a theme today.
Hold on, let me look on Polygon to see if anything came up.
I mean, we don't need to dig for gaming news. I was just
let's look to see if anything happened. Fallout 76 is coming to Steam. PC soon. I'm excited.
Why?
Oh, there's some good news. The Wonderful 101's coming to Switch, PC, and PS4. They met their Kickstarter goal.
Oh, that is good.
I was gonna say, but then they made it in like 20 minutes or something.
They made it. They hit the Switch one quick, and then the other ones were really like not too long after. So it's coming to Switch, PC, and PS4, and I think. Let me double check. Let me look at their Kickstarter campaign, because they're only asking for like 50,000. I guess they're getting some funding from before.
Yeah,
so
no,
it's like 50,000.
they were asking for the minimum amount for the game, I think.
Yeah, I think that was just for the Switch port. Like, if we hit this, you'll get a Switch port type of thing. They have made... Jesus Christ. So they were asking for $49,890, because like it's exchange rate from yen. But they have gotten... let's see. Is it million? They have... Let's see, 100,000 million. Is it million? Am I stupid? No, billion. Wait. No. Oh, I'm so stupid tonight. I can't. They got $1,280,834. They have 30 days to go. They have almost 20,000 backers. So that means we are getting... let's see. Switch version's done. Steam version's coming. PS4 version. Adding a time attack mode, and then they're adding let's see, Luca's First Mission, a brand new 2D side-scrolling adventure starring a young hero, like another side thing to the game. A remix soundtrack featuring a special guest, and then there's more room for Kickstarter like stretch goals below that. They have 30 days left. This started yesterday, and one of the best things that you can get for these is starting with how much do you have to do it? Starting if you like pledge 11,000 yen, which is about $100, $110. Oh, about $102. Yeah, right there. If you do that one or higher, Kamiya will personally tweet at you and then block you on Twitter.
Oh, that is what that was related to. I saw a tweet talking about how they were doing that with their as one of the goals.
He will personally block you. I find it interesting that the anticipated delivery date for this is April 2020, which means I feel like they already had this underway, because there's no way that they'll have this done, in the next few months had they not already started on it. So I feel like they started on it and then they did this to get it to other platforms. And maybe this might even be like they might have had enough to do the port, but this might be the publishing cost.
I mean, that's one of the things that makes Platinum so great, though, isn't it? They pretty much sneak games out into the world. Like, they did that with... That's why, like, they always make these great games that kind of have underwhelming performance. Like, people don't catch on to them as early just because their marketing is basically, okay, we're going to, like, make sure no one knows about this until it's ready. And so it's like, it's here.
They also have a retweeting campaign that every so many tweets, there's secret missions, and like so every so many tweets are retweets of the thing. Something happens. Like they hit the mission one, which I don't know what it was. The sticker set was increased 1,700 retweets, and like the size for the acrylic standee that you can get for the awards has been bigger. There's a bunch of secret ones, and then if they hit mission 12, Kamiya will unblock everyone. So if you've already been blocked by Kamiya, he will go through and unblock everyone on his blocked list.
Oh man!
It is an optional. It is an optional reward to be blocked by Kamiya. You can choose to not be blocked by him. And there will be a physical version, it looks like, as well, which I will probably be getting if I buy this. Which I want it, because if anyone doesn't know what it is, it's an action game from Platinum where you play as 101 heroes. Like, you start out with a smaller map. I think total there's 101 different heroes you can have in your team. They all have different colors, different powers, and they combine to do things. Like, you'll make, like, you'll draw, like, a certain shape on the screen, like a circle, and they'll turn into a fist or turn into a gun. and that's how you get through this like giant the camera's panned out on a big world and you go through the world like almost like a big Bayonetta type thing, but like more colorful. It's based on like costumes, superheroes, like Power Rangers, stuff like that. Ow, hit my hand. And that's what this game is. It came out on the Wii U, and now it's going to be on something people actually own.
Yay! Now the rest of the world can enjoy this Wii U game.
Yeah. Did you ever play it?
No, I don't have a Wii U. I also didn't have a Wii.
Nice.
Yeah, I was very up on my Nintendo.
Like, you still haven't played Skyward Sword.
I haven't. I still want a port. Give it on Switch, please. Can we get that Kickstarter going?
You have a Wii, don't you?
No.
You don't even have a normal Wii.
I've never had a Wii. I don't have a Wii.
They're like free now.
That's not true. I have a GameCube, and I have a Switch, and I have an N64.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my Nintendo systems, and I stick by them. I wouldn't betray them with a Wii.
But yeah, that's the only bit of good news I can think of.
I mean, I do have one good news here. Look at this. They've officially released the $50 video game Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 3.
Yeah, it's
What
the
is it on?
it's the motocross video game, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is just a motocross game. But the fact that the leading words of the frickin' game is Monster Energy is just like,
yeah, because that whole circuit is sponsored by Monster Energy.
okay,
Monster Energy drink.
Yeah, apparently it got mixed reviews, so I can't vouch for the quality of this thing.
Oh, it got mixed reviews. Are you surprised?
I don't know. Maybe people like their Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 3. Maybe they're big fans of that. There are literally
they're just
people
huge
in the
stands of about the second and first game, not really so much the third.
Yeah, that's all that's coming in here. Though I do find it amusing. There are people like, coming from someone who had no idea this thing existed and looking at the reviews and be like, I don't know if Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 3, really hits the mark for the Monster Energy Supercross video game franchise. Seems a little falls a little short of the target there. Boy, that's saying something.
I mean, the bar was set so high for them, so I can understand why.
Yeah, this is basically insurmountable. Man, I don't know. It's been a dead month really for games. I've just been sifting through as I've done last time. I think the last time we actually had me on the show, I was still in the process of sifting through my Steam library trying to play older things that were in it, and I just keep running this stuff and being like, "Yep, I don't know if I'm ever really gonna play the original Strife Veteran Edition. It's a little old at this point." I also don't know. So this one's been burning a hole in my library. The Last Remnant. I own it. Square Enix made it. And I cannot decide if it's going to be worth my time or not. A lot of people have been basically saying,
You might like that one.
A lot of people said basically if I liked Final Fantasy 12, I'd like it. But then I beg to make the statement, so if I played Final Fantasy 12, is there anything that I'm actually going to get that's fresh, new, or good in The Last Remnant?
It has more RTS style things in it, I think.
Really?
Like, I think you can control like mobs of characters. There's a remastered version of it on Switch as well.
Yeah, but that would require me to buy it again.
Didn't you get it for free or like really cheap?
I think it was a free thing on Steam. You're right. So I could.
See, I've been lucky. I have like basically only moved to playing old games, and there's no shortage of them.
Yeah, there's no game shortages for old games, but I'm not really looking to like play new games necessarily. I'm just hoping to play good ones.
Yeah. Like, I'm honestly, at this point, I'm just waiting for Animal Crossing. I'm not... Like, I'm looking forward to Animal Crossing, Xenoblade Remastered, and, like... I think there's one more thing this year, and that's, like, really all I care about. Unless they... Until, like, E3 when they announce new shit. Give me a Beautiful Joe 3 or something like that.
I recently bought a copy of Majesty Gold HD Edition, because that was one of my favorite, like... medieval simulators that I ever played, and I don't think another such thing has ever existed since.
I have no idea what that is.
You never heard of it?
Please
Okay.
enlighten me.
Maybe I'll stream this. This might be something I'll actually do, because I love this game. But basically, the premise of the game is that you manage a small town of basically villagers. You'll have like a palace, and you set up your guilds, which you summon heroes from, and you'll set up like inns and markets and stuff. And the whole idea of the game is that you are passively ruling this empire. You have like the heroes will come in, and they'll more or less just go about their own business doing whatever they want. If they want to go get a beer, they're going to go get a beer. If they want to go to the market and buy like potions or sex toys, they're going to do that. The heroes will just do their own thing. And your job is to basically tactically place bounties around the map if you want to actually convince these heroes to do what you want them to do. So it's there's a little bit of control that you have over it, but for the most part, you're just observing these people living their lives, and maybe they'll go do what you want them to do, which sounds like it should be annoying, but for some reason I took so much pleasure out of just seeing them existing and using the accommodations I provided them. I don't know. I've always been I always liked sim type games, so it's always kind of been up my alley, and probably not a great thing for streaming, because I don't know if people like the metagame of watching people watch other things do things on their own, but I don't know.
I mean, people like to watch Final Fantasy raids and stuff like that, so.
True. So yeah, maybe that's when I'll pull out, just because I have a feeling there are very few people out there that actually know what the heck this is.
I'm fairly low energy today, too. Like, I'm getting more tired as the day goes on. God.
I'm sorry, it's my
Ken's
fault.
just like,
I brought
no,
the
it's
energy
fine.
sap here.
No, it's just like been a long like couple days already. It's been kind of like just a not so great day personally, but not like stream wise was fine, but like family issues have cropped up in the past like few days. So
yeah, I felt drained coming into this week, and it is partly because I basically went from having someone in town to having like a work conference that I had to be involved with to feeling low energy and not really having any direction with certain stuff. Like I think this is just that time of year where like not a lot's going on, so I think the world is kind of hibernating, and I definitely feel it. But Kyo's got a little popper pup.
Oh, that's Biscuit. That's girlfriend's dog. I put him on my overlay, and people have seemed to like it.
It's so cute.
I just put like a picture of her dog on. People are like, "Who's the dog?" My girlfriend's dog. Does he live there? No, he doesn't live here.
No, dogs bring people in, man.
I'm just leaving him on there at this point.
I'm
making him bigger each day. I make him a little bit bigger on the screen.
Can you do it every single day so that by day 365, most of the stream is just covered by that dog face? And I don't know if I can do it that much, but I'm going to see how far I can get it into, like, I have a chat box on mine, and see how far I can get into that before people start to be like, is the dog bigger now? I'm like, no, it's not. But I know one person that's going to, like, go back and be like, the dog is bigger now. I went back and looked, and I'm like, okay, thanks. I know the one person that's going to do it, too. Trying to think, do I have anything else going on? Oh, I've been working on a campaign for something. I'm trying to get the word out. Maybe you two can help me. Okay.
So I'm gonna post something in the thing real quick.
Also,
I need this.
Also, are we still live?
What do you mean still alive? Is Ken still around? Ken?
Yeah, you need Pepsi Man, right?
Pepsi Man.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, we're still live. I mean, we're recording. Did you stop?
$70.
It's a Japan only. Okay, it's a Japan only game called Pepsi Man. Everyone knows it is. Just Google Pepsi Man. Look for the sound. Everyone knows the song Pepsi Man. I don't know how to explain this. I need this. I need this game.
If I give you the money right now, will you buy it?
I will buy this thing immediately as soon as I can.
Okay.
Don't give me money for this.
What's the fastest way to ship you money? Line?
What? No, I don't know how to use line money. You don't have to give me money for this, but I need this game.
Get that
Yeah,
game.
Venmo. I'll give you it to via Venmo.
No.
No,
It's too expensive. I wonder if it's cheaper in Japan to go if you went there.
We'll see.
But like, I need Pepsi, man. I have been trying to get my girlfriend.
Okay, so if you can find it at Monterake, I'll go get it for you.
I've been trying to get my girlfriend to buy me it, and she just said no. She's like, I don't need it. And then I played the song, and I was singing the Pepsi Man song, and she's like, you don't need the game to sing the song. And that's bullshit. We all know that. I need this, and I keep bringing it up every day on stream in hopes that someone has a spare copy of it. Currently, we're working on a tweeting campaign at Pepsi to see if Pepsi has a copy of Pepsi Man laying around in their offices somewhere that they could give me. So please go on Twitter and retweet or tweet at Pepsi and ask them to give me a copy of Pepsi Man because I really want it. I've just been buying like shitty old games or weird games like that to play. There's another one I want called Oh No, and it's not available for download or anything like that.
Is it somewhat related to your father's band, Timber?
It's Ozone.
I hope there's not another band out there called Oh No.
It's probably a stoner band.
So this game has like a banger of a soundtrack.
It's mostly
it's
just
one of those...
pep.
Oh no, I'm talking about Oh No, but Pepsi Man has a really good one too, and I want it. I'm trying to find this one for...
You're just gonna go down the like branded video games thing, aren't you? You got Pepsi Man. You're gonna do Chex Quest next. Gonna get a little bit
Spot.
of the. Yep.
There's a Chex Quest?
Yes, there's Chex Quest.
Yeah.
You never heard of Chex Quest?
There's a Spot,
the
7-Up video game. You should get that.
Cool Spot. All right, I have this time, like a link to a certain time code on that. That's Oh No. That is the game I really want right now. I was informed about its existence the other day by a streamer friend.
Oh yeah, I saw that tweet. It looks so weird.
I need this, but there's no download version. I'm like, oh, if there's a download version of PSN, I'll just get that. There's not. But you play as these three, like, snot-nosed children in a line and, like, walk through and cause mayhem. But the way they, like, dance through things is really weird, but every stage is actually a different kind of gameplay as well.
Alright, now this is what I'm talking about.
And, like, you pick up burgers and stuff, too. Like, it's such a weird game. I don't know how to describe this. It's just... weird.
I like the fact that they're
game.
avoiding any fish burgers.
I didn't understand that.
I do definitely get a kind of a Goemon feel from this. Not at that quality level, of course, but just the general like self-awareness of kind of cultural parody that they're doing here.
But it's just like it's one of those like just weird PS1 like experimental games that you'll never see again. We'll never get another game like this. It's like this, then Muscle March is another one like that. These weird campy games, I'm just like obsessed with them right now. I need this, I need Pepsi Man, I need Muscle March, all that stuff.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. Yeah, take this, get Chex Quest. Maybe get
what is that on?
That was released for DOS.
Oh no.
You should know. You know what you should also get?
What?
Sneak King.
I have that. I own Sneak King. It's sitting right next to me. I showed it today on stream. I'm like, I own Sneak King. We will play this one day. Sneak King's like if Metal Gear Solid was good. And the reason why I say that is Sneak King costs $4. Metal Gear Solid games cost $60. I feel like the quality is higher for the price in Sneak King than it is in Metal Gear Solid.
I think the difficulty spike is pretty immense in Sneak King, though.
It is. Why are they not eating the fish burgers in this? I don't understand. But like I've been getting stuff like this. I bought a game recently called Trag: Mission of Mercy. It's a Resident Evil clone, but like instead of fighting zombies and stuff, you're fighting like bioengineered terrorists, kind of. Like they're not monsters or anything. There's that, and then you fight robots, and you run around in the fixed camera angles with like the tank controls, and you have beat 'em up controls instead. And that game gets bullshit at the end, but it was fun up until then. I had to like save scum to beat the final boss.
Okay, that was the part of that said I was like, and did you finish it, or did
because
did we kill on
Saves-
out of there?
Save scumming's fine, as I've heard in another chat. Save states, save time. Like, it's that, or I'm like, do you want me to go through this unskippable cutscene and then keep dying? No. We will get through a phase, we will save it, save state it, and then we'll continue. I've had to save scum twice in that game. Because I'd get to areas with no healing items and I couldn't continue. Like, the last 2 hours or so of the game, there was no health drops, ever. And, like, in the beginning, there is a ton. So, like, I didn't think it was ever going to be an issue.
Yeah, I think you just have to muscle through it, Kel. Become the best at... What was the game?
Trag, Mission of Mercy.
Become the best Trag player there is. And then become a Trag speedrunner.
There is a Trag speedrunner. There's 2 of them.
Well, beat
One
them.
of them's Caveman, the guy that did Crash Bandicoot 2 Game Over Abuse. Like, do you know the one meme from GDQ where the guy's like, I'd prefer if you be quiet?
Yes.
That's Caveman. That's the guy that ran Trag. And there's one other person on the board. I currently only run Clock Tower Ghost Head, and people keep trying to take my world record. And I want them to stop. I don't want to have to keep running that category.
I'm curious what would happen if you were like, you went to review it right now. I was like, someone beat my record. And then just like mid podcast, you're like, we're taking this back.
I probably would get a heads up if it
You have it alerted? You actually have this like tracked, don't you?
No, I probably would get a heads up if there had been like something submitted. Like one way or another, like it probably would have gotten through that so and so did a run, or like, I'd see someone had done one if I searched the category type thing. I don't know. I also just like try and do one once a week. That way I can just like submit it with a PB.
I like how you went from having never played a Clock Tower game to holding a speedrunning world record.
I own 3. I hold 3 world records for Clock Tower games.
Well,
Clock Tower Ghost Head, and then 2 on Clock Tower for Wonder Swan.
what? Wait, hold on. Sorry, Clock Tower for Wonder Swan?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I hold 2 speedrun world records for Clock Tower on Wonder Swan.
What the hell is a Wonder Swan? Hold on.
I like how you're surprised it was on Wonder Swan. Then you're like, well, what is a Wonder Swan? As if you knew before.
I didn't. I was just making sure that I heard correctly. It was ported to the PlayStation, Wonder Swan, and Windows. What is a Wonder Swan?
It's a handheld system that was made by Bandai. The first one was only black and white and took a single AA battery and had the backing of companies like Square Enix. And like Bandai owned it, so they had all the Bandai properties. A lot of other people put stuff on there. So then they released a color, then Crystal. Crystal was like an updated version of the color. And they were competitively priced. I think like the Wonder Swan Classic was $80. Versus like, the $100+ for the Game Boy Color or Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
So even though it was technically inferior, it was cheaper and it got big names on there too. Like there's 3 Final Fantasy games on there, Front Missions on there. Like there's like Digimon games are on there. Like it was like
the Digimon game and then was amazing. I have that. Yeah, I have a Wonder Swan too. I have the color.
Nice.
Yeah, I have the color or the.
I have
crystal.
The Final Fantasy 1 edition of the color.
So they made 2 Digimon games. I have them both, and this was me trying, not knowing any lick of Japanese, playing this game. I still have it. I should take a picture of it.
Nice, show me it. I want to see.
It's just wild to me that I never heard of this in my life.
Do you know about the Neo Geo Pocket Color?
I do. I've heard of Neo Geos.
I have a Neo Geo Pocket Color with a single game on it. I have Sonic's Pocket Adventure. I also have a Game Gear. I need a Sega Nomad still, though. I want one of those really bad.
Yeah, you're looking at the same thing as me, the 5th generation of consoles. I was aware of all of these except for the Wonder Swan.
Yeah, it was Japan only. It never came out in the States. That might
there
be why
it is.
You don't.
Okay, the magic words. Japan
but I think
only.
If I knew it, then you should have known it.
Yeah, but I was a late weeb. I didn't get into like Japanese things until I was in late high school, and by then we were all on our PS2s and GameCubes.
Now you're too busy going to Renaissance fairs.
No, that was college.
I've seen those pictures of you at a Renaissance fair.
Yeah, those are really old.
Yeah, your Facebook's not very updated.
It isn't. I basically dropped off of actually posting anything like officially to Facebook probably a year before I graduated, so there's really not anything super up to date on there anymore.
All I do on Facebook is just use Messenger.
Exactly. I just talk to people, but I don't get anything out of showing acquaintances the state of my life in 2020. Like, it just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I mean, I talk to people that I want to tell people about stuff anyway, so there's no reason to really use it.
Exactly. I feel like, yeah, anybody who's important enough will get a, like, DM from me. I think it's more authentic and personal that way anyway.
Anyone's important, they'll get the TimberTaft.
They'll get the TimberTaft, yeah. And then,
Go ahead.
Yeah, the dangers of social media. That's also why I don't post to YouTube anymore, because, you know, if I cared enough about something, I'd just tell you about it. I wouldn't make a video. And so we're here now.
Was there anything else going on? I feel like we're all pretty low energy today, and not really a lot going on. So, did you want to get to our few questions that we have?
Yeah,
we have a whole lot.
Let's look at the questions in this probably supercut podcast of the Podasaurus.
Yeah, this is probably gonna be the shortest episode we've done. Like, it's just like by the time it's hit night tonight, like I've just like been, like my energy's been like dropping.
Yeah, I took a nap before this podcast, and I'm still like physically dead. It's just been a lot. It's been a lot the past couple of weeks.
Let's see, anything from you, Ken, before we move on?
I wanted to talk about Kingdom Hearts 3 real fast.
Oh, that's
Go
right. I
for it.
forgot
Yeah,
about that.
yeah.
Tell us about Kingdom Hearts 3.
Another game that I was playing,
I was
playing the DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3. And it's alright. Like, I finally got over the whole thing. They introduce a lovely time machine mechanic in the game via the storyline. And, like, near the end of the game, there's like two Soras, a future Sora and a past Sora, where the future Sora is trying to rescue Kairi, and it makes no sense because the future Sora rescues Kairi, then the past Sora would be like trying to rescue the Kairi that isn't there, and because Kairi isn't there, because future Sora saved past Kairi, it's all time mechanics. I don't understand that entire story. But regardless, the ending of it is you go into this game world that is featured in the Toy Story world, where it pretty much looks like a Tetsuya Nomura loving game, and you fight the character in there. And if you win, there is a scene of the character fading away and going into the Final Fantasy Versus 13 world, or the trailer, the beginning trailer of him just being in this car, and you can tell that Tetsuya Nomura was freaking salty that he had to leave 15.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that. I haven't finished the game myself, but Timber, did you play Kingdom Hearts at all?
I mean, I loved Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. They were
3,
mainstays, though. But 3, yeah, no. I mean, the whole not having a PS4 thing kind of killed the Kingdom Hearts 3 drive for me. But I think it had potential, and yeah, it's a shame that there were situations with it that brought such feelings from you, Ken.
Yeah, well, thank you for telling us about it, Ken. I appreciate you taking your time to tell us about it.
Yeah.
All right, well, moving on real quick, we just have a few questions. It'll probably be a shorter episode today just because not a lot of questions, not a lot going on really at all. And I'm also not the host, yet I am doing this anyway today. Let's see, where did we leave off? Let's see, we have a few further back. They're not anything too much. Let's see. Mako asks, if I make a game, will you play it? And I means her and you means me. I say yes. If Mako made a game, would you play it? I will tell you that it is most likely a waifu-based gacha game that is going to try and steal money from you.
I know better than to play gacha games of any kind. So
How about you, Ken? I'm going to say probably yes.
Yeah, I am very excited. I love gacha games.
I've started playing another one recently, like, because I'm like, what's just something I can play with things that look familiar that I don't have to pay for? So I downloaded, what the fuck is it called? It sucks. It's really bad. Sega Heroes. It's like a match 3
Oh god, that
character
sounds horrible.
RPG. So you basically play Bejeweled down at the bottom, and it's really slow. And you have 4 heroes, different colors. You have red, blue, yellow, green. And I'm going through the story, and the characters I like aren't available in the story because they were the premium or like extra characters. So like I can't play with Gum from Jet Set Radio, so I'm a little pissed. But you go through different things, and you pretend like you're really doing something. The game has an auto mode, which makes no sense because it's just fucking Bejeweled. So you just like play nothing and then unlock things, and like every time you go back to the home screen, you get 1 to 3 pop-ups asking you for money. It's really shitty and scummy, and it's ugly, and it's probably one of the worst gacha games I've played. And Sega, you should be ashamed of yourselves, but you're Sega, so you probably aren't, because you bought Atlas and you have no standards.
I'm actually going to ask the obvious question that I think there's at least probably somebody out there that also wants to know, which is, what makes a game a gacha game? Because when I think of a gacha game, I think of like those little capsule pod dispenser things that are like gacha machines, right?
Yep.
That's what it's based on. Where you put in money and you get out something random.
Yep.
Okay.
So like anything where you put in some form of currency, whether it be in-game currency, real money, most of them have a mixture of both. You put those in, you get a random character, random item, something like that, and then you use it to play the game. That's where gacha comes from. Because gacha or capsule toys, like, it's a random chance. You put in your 100 yen, you're going to get something. But that's what it is. I know she wants to make a gacha game, and I know that's what it would be. So I'd say yes, but I probably would not put any money into it.
Yeah, I'll probably be a free-to-player. I wouldn't be a whale.
Yeah, I whaled a little bit on Dragalia Lost, but they also gave out a ton of free shit, so...
Yeah, but
like,
you also
I
got
didn't
your Seiyu, so I mean, that's... Like, honestly, for me, if I were to play a game for these anime games at this point, it's only to get the character for the Seiyus. So, like, for example, for Dragalia Lost, the event character was my favorite Seiyu, so I had to go play the event. But after that, because she has no involvement for any of the events after that, I don't play the game. I haven't played Dragalia since that last year, pretty much.
Yeah, I was playing it a lot for about... It's been out for a bit over a year now. I probably played it about, like, 9 out of the 12 months it was out. I just stopped playing it again recently. I played 9 out of the 12 of the first year, and then, like, played 2 more months after. I stopped playing it in, like, December. Like, around the time that they started repeating stuff, and, like, we were back, like, New Year's things. I just got tired of doing, like, a new event every couple weeks. So, like, it took me forever to get through the story mode, because I just wasn't doing it. And I don't know if I'll go back to it. I'm kind of done with gacha. I stopped playing Pokemon Go, too, because it just fucked that game. It makes me too angry. It was my blood pressure was probably too high.
Cresselia?
Oh, I'll still get my Corsola from you at some point. But like I'm not playing it regularly anymore. Just like when we go out to the park, I'll play it while we're walking around, but I don't care too much. Though.
I mean, that's how most people play Pokemon Go, isn't it? What were you doing?
Yeah.
No, not my boss. Our work office is right above a Pokestop, above 2 Pokestops actually. So he just plays the game and leaves it on while working.
Yeah.
All right. I think the only game that I've ever wailed for was Smite, which is that's the only time I was ever trendy with video games. There was a time where MOBAs were the thing before this Battle Royale craze, and I picked Smite to be my MOBA in the arena. And
you're such a video game boomer.
I played so much of that. I played a lot of that game, and I spent money on the actual skins, and I loved it, and then I stopped playing it. And ever since then, I kind of that was the game that taught me, I shouldn't be a whale, because eventually this game too shall pass, and so will all of the things that I paid money on it in it. So I don't know, but yeah, that was my thing. I don't know. I have yet to see a battle royale game come out that made me feel the same way, where I'm like, this is going to be my, my dabbling in the trendy genre. All of them seem just too similar to each other for me to feel like any of them really stand out as something I want to try. Fortnite was the closest I came to like maybe, but it didn't quite feel right for me either.
I can't see you playing Fortnite at all.
I mean, but that's because of the culture around it, right? Like, when I first heard about Fortnite, it was just a game that people didn't like as much as PUBG. And somebody said, hey, it's basically PUBG, but you build stuff, so like it's basically PUBG Minecraft. And I was like, well, that's interesting. I played a mod for Half-Life 2 once where you had to build forts and then blow each other up. Maybe it's kind of like that mod.
You were such an old man with games. And I'm holding a copy of a PS1 game, and you're the old man.
Listen.
I played a mod for Half-Life where you had to build castles and shit.
Well, listen, after the Half-Life mods, I got Gary's mod. I made a car with a gate on it, and I did and/or statements to close and open the gate. And then I had And then I role played with people dressed up as in Combine suits, and said that they were my prisoners. And then I'd ride around with the car. And that was.
Imagine being so old to know who the Gary is behind Gary's mod.
Is Gary still alive?
I don't know. I don't know who Gary is.
Does anybody? Hold on. Who was Gary? Now I need to know. Who is Gary? Gary's mod Gary.
I'm like pulling apart this PS1 case. I need this to leave my hands. I'm like pulling that disc tray out of like the backing of the plastic. I'm like pulling that out. I need to stop.
Gary Newman. And I cannot believe that people still consistently play Gary's mod to the point where we actually have the Knuckles the Ugandan Knuckles meme in Gary's mod. Like it's still a thing. It's such a hard, like there's a point where I dropped off from certain things, and when I come back and remember, oh yeah, that was online. It perpetuated. There's still new things that come into this ancient game. It's I don't know, it's just wild. It's a wild world we live in. And his name was Gary Newman.
His name was Gary Newman.
He's in town on vacation.
All right, kind of going off that question that was Black Shotgun's question, by the way. Wait, oh no, that was Mako's question. Off that, Tofu asked, "What are our thoughts on the current state of mobile gaming? It's just gacha games and nothing else. It's pretty much dead in my mind. It's just feel like gacha games."
Yep. If you don't like gacha games, the state of mobile gaming is probably dead on arrival. Honestly.
Yeah. Like, if you're expecting anything new to come out that's not just a gacha game or some free-to-play, like, throwaway trash, like, it's not going to happen. There'll be, like, that one indie studio, like, some weird-ass, like, Phil Fish knockoff's going to come out and be like, this is my game called Cup, and it's only on mobile, and it's going to, like, transform the thing. It's like Jonathan Blow bullshit. That's about the only thing that's going to happen. Other than that, it's just going to be gacha games. Even Nintendo's really bad about it.
I saw something very recently that was actually kind of... I mean, I wouldn't say exciting, because they were like, it's a mobile game. And I went, no thanks. But it sounded like it was basically like a legit game. Like a full-on game that you could play on your phone. God, what the heck was it called? This is a great contribution, I know. I don't know, was it like a mobile game FPS? It was something really wild that I would never have expected to be... Call of Duty Mobile, yes. Okay, that was the one I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. And then people found out that they could play it on their computer with an Android emulator or something like that, and so they were like using their keyboard and mouse to play it, and just destroying people on mobile.
Alright, and that's why... and that's why it's gacha games and not much else.
Yep.
Or you can play Plague Inc. That's a choice.
Yeah.
Learn how
I don't
to...
even know how the game plays.
I mean, have you ever played Pandemic on the...
No.
You never played the original? Ah. Oh. See, that's why I never bought Plague Inc. Because I actually played the original thing. I was like, well, it's just the same game. Why would I pay money? I'm the worst kind of player, but
yeah.
But it was fun. That was me with a lot of Newgrounds games where it's like I found it entertaining when it was free, but a lot of those were never things that I was like, it's a good distraction. I wouldn't want to like spend dollar amounts to actually play a lot of them though.
But yeah, that's pretty much, I mean, for mobile games, it's kind of just how it is now. And we have one more question. We had surprisingly not as much as we usually do, but it's kind of nice because we usually have too many, I think. The last one is from Black Shotgun. Hype for Animal Crossing? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Resounding
My entire office, my department is talking about Animal Crossing. My manager, who I don't really get along with, is excited for Animal Crossing. She goes, "I reserved that Switch, the Animal Crossing Switch.
It's so cute."
She goes, "I only played 2 games. It's Animal Crossing and Harvest Moon."
What about Stardew Valley?
You need to introduce her to that.
She is a 65-year-old woman. I don't think she knows what the hell
Introduce
Stardew
her.
Valley.
Get her into Stardew Valley, and she will not exist in your office ever again because she'll be playing Stardew Valley.
You know what she did? She goes, "Oh, when I get home from work for Animal Crossing, everyone would be sleeping, so I had to inverse the time 12 hours ahead so I can participate with my animal friends."
Oh, that's so wholesome, honestly.
So yeah, she cannot wait. And I was like, "Oh yeah, so on Saturdays when it's the slowest day for our department, I'm pretty sure we're all going to be bringing out our Switches just to play Animal Crossing."
We found out, I'm gonna get it, and my girlfriend's gonna get it, and we found out it comes out on, a Friday, before she has, a weekend off. So it's gonna get here during the day, we're gonna go back to St. Louis, whatever, and we're just gonna play Animal Crossing all weekend.
Ah, that's great.
She's really excited for it, because she's working, every weekend until then, I think. Does Discord keep dropping today?
No, I'm still here.
Okay, I just keep hearing weird noises. Yeah, but that's all we have for questions. I mean, that's pretty much, we're all excited for it.
Yeah.
It might not sound like it, but we're all really tired too already.
I'm thrilled for the new Animal Crossing. It's not something I imagine to play for long stretches of time because I was never super into playing it. But my girlfriend was always really into Animal Crossing, and I've gotten used to whenever she's around, I'll be off doing something else, and then I'll just walk into the room and I just hear the staccato music of Animal Crossing in the distance. It's become the sound drop of my home. So I'm looking forward to having a new Animal Crossing soundtrack to have randomly happening in the background of my life. I don't know. I think it's a cute series. I'm a big fan.
It's fun. I can't wait. I played everything up until now. When I was a kid, I had it on GameCube. I rented it every week for a year almost, and then got my own copy of it finally. Because I had that Game Pass where I could just get whatever I wanted, but I just kept Animal Crossing.
Also,
I could have bought the game instead of keeping the pass, but I didn't. I was a kid and didn't have money at the time, so.
Also, I must say, I can't think of too many games that I can categorize under the game genre of social simulation, which is apparently...
It's like a chore simulator, too.
Oh, good. This game is such a hard sell for anybody who doesn't know what it is. And as soon as you play it, it's
honestly... Yeah, as soon as you play it, you know what it is. Once you finally play it, that's the only way to properly explain it. Let me stop playing with this train.
Yeah.
But anything else to add for Animal Crossing or anything else?
I'm super excited. I watched the first episode of Picard. That's not games.
I still need to finish TNG.
Yeah, I do too, frankly. So I'm probably not going to watch any more. But it was all right. I heard people say that episode 2 is a lot better, episode 1 was more explodey than I was hoping, so I was kind of like, I don't know. But I have some people who really, really liked it, who are also really into TNG, so I'm probably going to try and give it another go and hope that maybe it's just them trying to hook the younger folks in before giving us the good TNG goodness.
It's really hard to like sell or like a show on the first episode alone, because usually the pilots are going to have like, you know, weird things to cast, either like getting into character, getting back into character. So like usually the first episodes of something or the pilot are not that good. But I'll get to it eventually. Once the first season's done, we'll like hopefully be through TNG and then can just like get that like month of whatever it is, NBC, whatever, get through it and then cancel it. Or CBS, whatever.
I'm just going to wait for it to get, like, once the season's actually run its course, and then just watch it on Amazon Prime, because it's eventually going to go there.
Okay. I'll have to do that. Yeah, anything else to add before we wrap up for tonight? Nothing?
Get Ring Fit Adventures so you too can be a healthy Switch player.
I want that really bad.
I recommend it. It is actually fun and good exercise. I will say be very careful. This is something I learned from experience. When you're using the actual ring con, do not allow your wrists to collapse in on themselves. It's very easy to do that with the ring because of the way that it compresses itself. So like if you don't want to get carpal tunnel in addition to your muscles, you should probably like be very, very careful with the compression techniques in that game. PSA for anybody who recently got it.
Well, thank you for that PSA. All right, Timber, take us out of here.
All right, folks, if you liked what you heard today, you can come see me, TimberTaft, at twitch.tv/TimberTaft. I stream usually on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, but that's really up in the air, so just pay attention to my twitter.com/TimberTaft or join my Discord. Link for the Discord usually on my Twitch page. You can also watch videos that I make. I do release top 10s, parodies, and reviews over on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/TimberTaft. But yeah, that's where you'll find me. As for Ken...
Sorry. That was just such a weird transition. If you want to hear my antics of the deadpan opening that happened earlier in the episode, you can hear my rantings about the Japanese music industry on my podcast, Ongaku. You can find it at ongaku.com, and you can find me on Twitter at OTYCan1. Whoa. And what about you, Kel?
You can find me every morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time at twitch.tv/KyoryuHunter. I stream retro games, retro horror games, and anything campy or terrible as well. Sometimes I combine all those things together and we get Dino Crisis 3. So if you like things like that, I have them up. I do that every morning, like I said. I also run this here podcast on here, and I also do speedruns, which you can check out my speedrun page on speedrun.com and just search for KyoryuHunter. You can see all of my PBs and my world records in a couple different games.
Nice and snappy. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope for listening. Thank you for listening to the podcast. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time on the Podasaurus.
Why'd you become all sultry about that one on the last part there?
I was trying to just deliver it like you know,
Captain
the way that, like the song. No, like the song. You know, welcome to the Podasaurus.
That's the old theme song.
Well, that's the good theme song. I'm sorry.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye. Aloha.